Ravens flock, what's going on? Football is officially back. The preseason is here. Where we played the Eagles a couple days ago. Unfortunately, we lost, which snapped our streak. I don't remember the exact amount of games that we had, but I do know we made the record for most consecutive preseason games with a victory. But that streak was snapped a few days ago against the Eagles. It was snapped in a very weird fashion. Obviously, towards the end of the game, the Eagles missed a field goal, and then when we had the ball with about 10 seconds left, I forgot who that was, but one of the backup quarterbacks had fumbled, and the Eagles got it back and kicked. Got a second chance to kick a game-winning field goal, and that time they did successfully kick it. I mean, to me, it's no big deal, but I mean, it is what it is. More than anything, we're just trying to get out of the situation healthy and just see what we got in our younger players. We did not fully make it out of this game healthy, unfortunately. Nate Wiggins, he suffered a shoulder injury. And from what I'm hearing, it's some minor shoulder injury. So that's at least good to hear. That's encouraging to hear that he's not going to be out for a crazy amount of time. He was clearly the star of the game. It felt like he was just everywhere. Like he was getting open field tackles. He had like 3 pass breakups. Like he was just like if he had turned around on that first deep pass that Kenny Pickett tried to throw, that would have been an interception. I'm sure once we get into the season, he'll clean that up and keep his head on the swivel. That way, in situations like that, he could play the ball. But it wasn't too crazy of a game. But final score was 16-13. Rasheen Ali, who was the running back we drafted a few months ago, he had a mishap. I'm gonna call it a mishap, really, just where he fumbled on the special teams play on the kickoff. If I'm not mistaken, fumbling was one of the issues people pointed out in his scouting report, but hopefully he doesn't let that get him down. Josh Johnson just looks terrible. I don't even know how to politely say that. Like he really went 4 for 12 in the preseason. Like that's really crazy. Like 4 for 12 against a bunch of third string players. That's crazy. Even though he's obviously not our starter, it's just like he's somebody who's been a veteran for like what 10, 15 years now on like it feels like he's played on essentially every football team in the league, and you wouldn't expect him to just look that badly at this point. I'm pretty sure that's a very big red flag. I wouldn't imagine he would stay with us past this year, but I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting because it was one game, but this game more than anything was just really just a test for our defense because we ended up playing Kenny Pickett, who even though Kenny Pickett isn't that good, we know him pretty well from his time in Pittsburgh. At the end of the day, he's still somebody who was a starter just as recent as a year ago. So to see our defense go up against a starter, we I don't think we played super impressive outside of Nate Wiggins, but again, I still think we have probably one of the deepest defenses in the league. I mean, one of the deepest defensive rosters in the league. As far as our offense, again, nothing really stood out to me too crazy. Well, actually, no, that's not true, actually, because Dayton Wade had an impressive play on 4th and 2 where he evaded the tackle and then he went out for a first down. And my favorite catch of the day was by Tylan Wallace. That was a terrible throw by Josh Johnson. For Tylan to be able to adjust to that was insane. But all in all, there's not much that I think we could take from this game just yet. I'm sure many people who are more into film, they're gonna break down how our offensive line look, which I want to do a video about the offensive line too, because like most people, that's a big concern for me right now, where we essentially only got one guy who we can say is gonna be a stud right now, which is Tyler Linderbaum. Outside of that, it's like, look, Ronnie, we don't know if Ronnie's gonna ever be the same. Roger Rosengarten, he's good, but he's a rookie, so we don't know. Ben Cleveland, he was supposed to be ready to take that step forward, but it seems like we're getting just so much conflicting information about where he is in his progression. One day, people are saying he's looking like he's gonna be a lock for the starting role. The next day, people are saying that he's not even making a roster. I don't know what to make of this O line. But let me know what your thoughts are on this preseason game below. Was there anything that stood out to you? How excited are you for Nate Wiggins? And was there anybody else that you believe really stood out in this game?